Hey everyone, Lane here from Maker's Lane. So I've been working really hard on renovating my barn and I'm ready for the next step, which is gonna be another fun one because I'm doing a really cool accent wall on the one side of that. If you looked at my previous video, it's left open there. So we're actually going to be tearing down this garage. So it's been on my list for a while. It's the only thing that hasn't really gotten updated or done anything. There's multiple reasons for why. One, it actually looks terrible. I mean, no part of it's awesome at all. And then the other part, which is kind of a big reason for it being torn down and not keeping it, is because for some reason, sorry, again, it's not the greatest. For some reason in this old garage, they decided to put a cellar in it. As you can kind of see here, that wall is caved in. So there's a lot of issues with it. Let me see if I can get a good video of it. So you go down here, and so that's the wall that they built. And you can kind of see there's supposed to be steps here. There's no longer steps here. It's kind of acquired trash from different things. But basically, there are three exterior walls, and they're all being caved in. And so it's kind of a safety hazard. It's just this back part back here. So the rest of this concrete's fine. But I've been spending a couple days cleaning it out, getting it ready to tear it down. My dad's actually gonna come over and help me tear it down. So it's basically, it's got this like siding on it, it's like tile kind of. And then on the inside, there's some actual like pretty good wood that I'm gonna use, try and repurpose some of that for some projects. And then also one of the walls in my shop is also going to be using that. Basically, I'm just gonna get started today on demoing this place and bringing it to the ground. The only thing that's probably gonna be left is the concrete. All the cinder blocks I'm probably gonna throw in the back there that I take off just to fill in that hole. But yeah, I'm gonna repurpose as much stuff as possible. So now the fun part begins. I get to demolish everything, but do my best to not ruin it. So slow and tedious process of ripping the roof off and ripping the siding off. So let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, the garage is basically torn all the way down. Here's most of the material that I saved off of it. So the main thing, we're gonna be using the siding for one of the walls and then the metal roofing for the other part. So now that we got that all torn down, I can start taking material down to my shop and get started on putting up the wall. With the tin, I'm gonna do that far back wall on that side of the shop. And originally I was going to stack it or put them vertically, and I realized I originally thought these sheets of metal, or the roofing pieces, were 4 foot in length, and they're like 2.5 feet or something like that. So they're gonna miss like the studs if I want to put it on the rivet. So that's why I think I'm gonna stack them horizontally instead of vertically. But we'll have to get into that and see if everything works out for that. I'm basically just gonna be using drywall screws. I know it's probably not the best method, but I decided against metal screws mainly because I'm drilling into the wood and because I didn't want like big silver heads on it. I know you can get different heads for them, but I had drywall screws laying around, so I figured that's what I'm gonna use. So let's go ahead and get in the shop and get started on those 2 walls. So I got this wall completely done. I'm blown away by how well it turned out. Originally I was going to put them on here vertically, and instead, because of how the studs were lined up, I would end up missing all of these ribs. So I wanted to put it so that I could hit every stud on a wall, so I put it horizontally like this. And I'm so happy that I thought about doing this, and it's awesome. I got this wall done. Obviously this wall still needs to be done. I brought the wood in from the garage, so now I'm gonna get started on this. I'm basically gonna follow the same pattern that the garage had. They stacked them at a 45-degree angle, so I'm gonna do the same here with this. It might get more difficult when I get up towards the top of the ceiling, just because I'm gonna have to do like a complicated cut, because I think the roof is at a 28-degree pitch or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's at a weird angle. It's not like 15 degrees or 30 or 45. It's like in between. So I'm just gonna have to cut those at an angle. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started on this back wall here. The only thing to note that I'm not gonna go all the way to the other end, just because that's gonna be the bathroom, so there's no need to do it. So I'm just gonna stop at that post right there. so there we go. Man, I know I've already kind of said this, but I'm really happy with how everything turned out. So this wall is obviously finished. So it ended up being almost exactly how I imagined. It's got that, you know, kind of rustic shop look that I was looking for. And it definitely like fills in the space really nicely. And obviously it was significantly cheaper than having to go out and buy more drywall. So I definitely saved some money there, which was awesome. Obviously none of this stuff in here really cost me anything to actually put up, other than the screws that I used to secure them in. So if you're looking for a way to recycle things, just always be on the lookout for things like if somebody's gonna tear something down, there's always something that you probably could use to repurpose and to make a space that would otherwise just be plain a little bit more, give it a little bit more character. That's basically it. Any of the stuff I used in this video, I'll link in the description below. But yeah, it turned out really well. I ended up, I got some of the ceiling stomped, which was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. I'll probably have a short on that, on how I did it, because I thought it would be way harder and it was actually significantly easier than I thought. And I finished painting the 2 walls behind me, and then also I finished up my little office there, as far as all the walls and the ceiling and everything are done in there. So for the office, the only thing that's left is to lay the floor in there. As far as this part, once I get the ceiling completely done, I can basically move in for the most part, at least on this part of the shop. I do still have the bathroom, which I have gotten started on. It's in the first phase, which is the roughing phase. That will be another video. As far as upcoming videos though, the next video is actually going to be this garage door itself. I'm actually going to make a metal frame and then reuse some of the leftover roof pieces, because I did have enough that I think I can finish that. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep on repurposing things. This shop's really starting to come together. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. But yeah, stay tuned for those future videos. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, I'm Lane from Maker's Lane. You guys have a good one.
Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sun